Yo, what's going on, guys? And Mfiondu Kabengele. Let me know if I said that correctly down below. If I didn't, tell me the pronunciation down below, but that's how I'm going to say it because that's how I heard it. Mfiondu Kabengele. Shout out Justin Trombino. He said this guy should be signed. And when he looked at the Boston Celtics roster, everyone knew, hey, they should get another young big guy to develop behind Robert Williams and Al Horford for, in the future, because Al Horford will leave. And people don't remember, Mfiondu Kabengele was a first-round pick by the Los Angeles Clippers back in, I believe, 2017. Let me double-check this. 2019, he was the 27th pick, okay? And he's a guy who's got some size, over 7-foot wingspan, a 7+ foot wingspan, 6'10", okay? Played at Florida State, a school very well known for developing talent, and he balled out this year in the Summer League. I want to hear your thoughts down below. If you are a Boston Celtics fan or just a fan of Mfiondu Kabengele, what do you think of him? And let me hear your thoughts about his predictions. What do you think he'll be able to do? Last year with the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, he averaged 18 points, almost 10 rebounds, almost 2 assists on 44% three-point shooting, 60% from the field, okay? And had about a block a game and almost a steal game, okay? Pretty freaking good. And let's talk about what he did in the Summer League, guys. Shout out NBA.com for this information. And he's a guy who averaged in the Summer League this year 14 points, 9 rebounds, almost 3 assists, 2 blocks, okay? 56% from the field, 37% from 3, 78% from the free throw line. And he's played in a total of 51 NBA games between the Clippers and Cavaliers. And I really, again, looking at the Celtics roster, he's a guy who long-term, theoretically, could work out very well for them because he's on two-way. So they'll be able to, I believe, get restricted free agency on him. And Robert Williams, obviously, long-term, but Al Horford expires. And they don't really have anyone big besides Luke Cornett, who's more of a stretch. And Grant Williams are small ball 5. So Mfiondu Kabengele, he's a guy in the future who theoretically could get some minutes, even this year on a two-way. Okay, that two-way could turn into a long-term, okay, deal. And I think it's perfect for them. Works out really well. I mean, he was a first-round pick for a reason, okay? He was a first-round pick for a reason. So I personally think there's no reason at all that you shouldn't believe. And also, another thing is he was an unheralded recruit. And what he, went from being not really ranked coming into college to being a first-round pick. So work ethic is there, in my opinion. Mfiondu Kabengele, I think there is going to be a spot for him in the NBA. And I think he's a guy that is just put in a perfect situation with Mfiondu. And, come on. You know who else is a big part of that? Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens is the one building the team. And when I look at this, I'm like, Brad Stevens, you are a mad scientist, okay? I've always said this. I love Brad Stevens as a coach, as an exec. My apology. Sometimes I do that. I call him a coach still because, it feels like yesterday he was the coach of the Boston Celtics. And we know he still has a big input on that team, being the president of basketball operations. But yeah, and Mfiondu is a talent evaluator, just great with player development. And that whole Boston Celtics team is just, they're doing things right over there, guys. And for me, I think Mfiondu Kabengele has just put himself in a situation in a world-class organization. I kind of said that with a lisp. I do apologize. And I hit my microphone. I'm also at my mom's house. Parents are separated, so they don't live together anymore. But I'm in her basement, and I hate when I say I never say And this is, I think, something that's interesting that with this team is we got a guy with Mfiondu. I think he can be they could develop him into Robert Williams 2.0, but what they would have to do is, I think he could be I think he could be just as, Robert Williams is one hell of a player, so I can't say be just as good, because that's asking for a lot. But what I can say is I do truly believe that this, in like 2 years, maybe I'm overzealous and thinking, oh, Mfiondu could be this guy, but I think he can. I think this signing can go low key, and then in like 2 years look back and like, wow, great pickup.